What's good, everybody? It's SHOWTIME, and I'm here to reassure you that the SHOWTIME that was making videos about the issues or the problems that are within society and presenting solutions to them has made his faithful and triumphant return. And the reason as to why I am returning to this original format or blueprint of making videos is because I felt as though by me talking about drama, mentioning the activities of specific people in my videos, and not only that, but putting their pictures up in my videos, I was kind of contributing to this whole drama problem that I was talking about and trying to diagnose and break down for the audience of YouTube. Even though my motives of doing this was to, present constructive criticism and to be of service to the community of YouTube so that they can get a better understanding not only of their favorite YouTuber but of drama in general, I was sort of being a part of the problem, and it was sort of coming off as hatred to a lot of people regardless of what my motives were. So rather than do that, I felt as though it would be more beneficial to all of you to just talk about problems in society that you will encounter and that mean more to you. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this video talking about gender equality, because whether or not you are somebody who is of a specific gender or a combination of genders, or if you're just that one person who feels as though you do not belong to any gender or you're not a combination of genders and you identify as a humanoid or a robot or some type of an avatar, this video is still for you, because whether or not you believe it or not, people are still going to judge you based upon what gender you look like physically. So when many people decide to talk about gender equality, I keep on hearing this over and over again occurring theme of, if a woman hits me first being a man, should I have the authority or the jurisdiction to be able to hit her back, seeing that she has stepped outside of the confines of what defines femininity because she has challenged a man? Which many have said, yes, you should. I'm going to bring something new and different to the table concerning the subject of gender equality that I don't really hear anybody really talking about, because it's like everybody keeps on bringing the same dish or the same order to the table, and I'm just like sitting over here like, come on, let's get dessert in already. Now, when talking about gender equality, especially for the purpose of this video in particular, there are two things that we have to keep in mind throughout this video. Number one, we have to realize that whatever gender that you most likely resemble from a physical standpoint is how the average person in which you come in contact with is going to treat you as, regardless of your sexual preference, regardless of what you identify as personally. That's what you have to realize. Number two, you have to realize that a lot of people, or some people in society, see gender equality as gender sameness. So this theory that I'm about to present to you in this video is based upon the two things in which I have just previously stated. I personally feel that man and woman are equal, but not in the ways in which you may actually perceive in which they are, which I will explain later in the video when I am wrapping this whole entire subject of gender equality up. So in order for gender equality to be successful, keeping in mind the two aspects or the two things that I brought up previous, and also keeping in mind I am talking about equality as far as every single aspect of gender equality, we are going to have an equal number or an equal representation of both genders on this planet. I'm gonna say that again. In order for gender equality to actually be successful, we have to have an equal representation of both genders on this planet, because I keep frequently hearing a whole lot of people crying and complaining about the fact that, oh my goodness, there are more men in this industry, or oh my goodness, there are a whole lot more men than women in this political office or in this political setting or in this type of industrial complex or whatever the case may be, but they fail to bring up the fact that men outnumber women from a global standpoint. I think the ratio is like 1.014 to 1. Don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and do your own research for yourself. Don't take what I'm saying as fact. But there are more men than women in this world. The reason as to why this particular aspect of gender equality will not be able to be achieved, even though it is possible to some degree, is because the government is going to have to take some type of an authority and be like, hey, look, since y'all are screaming gender equality, you know what, we're going to have to pretty much cut the population of men down to match that of women. And every single time there is babies born that will throw off the population ratio, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to abort and kill those babies before they even have a chance of living their full life. And I can guarantee you there is a certain portion of this human race that are not okay with the government taking the authority to just randomly kill innocent people. The second aspect I want to bring up, why do girls always do this pose? I've never understood that. The second way in which gender equality can be achieved is if and only if, and this is a very impossible and illogical way of thinking, but I felt as though I should present it anyway just for the fun of it, is if and only if what one gender is capable of from a physical, a mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever type of biological standpoint, the other gender should be able to be and should be able to do those exact same things in which the other gender or the opposite gender is capable of doing or looking like. And I'm gonna explain. Because if one gender looks exactly alike from a physical standpoint as the opposite gender, then there's no way you could use a negative or demeaning type of gender stereotype on the opposite gender, right? Therefore meaning that y'all would be the same as far as physical appearance is concerned. The second thing that I want to bring up is that from a biological standpoint or from a mental, emotional, spiritual standpoint, if what a man is capable of or what a male is capable of, a woman is capable of, and vice versa, right? It also means that because I look like you, smell like you, I taste like you, I eat the same thing that you eat, I have the same genitalia that you do, I have the same reproductive organs that you have, and I can do everything that you can do. Therefore, we are equal, we are the same. Now, the final point that I want to bring up concerning this whole gender equality that I feel as though is the most achievable by people of society, but also will probably be the reason as to why you dislike this video, is that I feel as though what one gender is willing to do or what one gender is doing, whether it be from a relationship aspect, economical standpoint, whatever the case may be, the other gender should be capable or should be willing to do the same exact things. For example, when you think of jobs such as garbage disposal or waste management, construction work, or any type of repairing roads, demolition, anything along these lines, blue collar jobs, any jobs that require you to really get your hands dirty and to be exposed to heat for a strong period of time, you usually think of a male when any of these jobs are mentioned. And you're probably thinking, well, Jay, what are you trying to say when you were saying this? Well, what I'm trying to say is a lot of these women are not really, and I'm not saying all women are not capable of doing these jobs or not willing to do these jobs, but for the most part, they are not willing to do any of these jobs that require a whole lot of brute force. What they want is a whole lot of CEO type positions, to be at a very high place under an air condition, you know, where they get to boss a whole lot of people around. And I can't really blame them, because honestly, who wouldn't want to have that type of a position? But we have to understand that there is a hierarchy of society. Some people have to play the role of the quote unquote pawn. Some people have to play the role of lower positions or middle positions. Not everybody can be at the top. But in the rare event a woman does decide to take on a job as a firefighter, as a policeman, as a whatever job that requires a whole lot of brute force or requires strength of that of a man's magnitude, what she should realize and be aware of that the rules or the protocol and procedures should not have to be downgraded or diminished to fit her needs just so she can have this job. And if the rules and the protocol and the procedures are not downgraded, she should not have the right to be able to call sexism or to say that, oh, they're being sexist against me. No, if the strength requirements and if the protocol and procedures are at a certain standard and you cannot meet those as a woman, then you should work out a little bit more or do whatever you need to do from the physical aspect or arena to be able to meet these requirements. And if your body is not capable of meeting these strength or masculine or whatever type of requirements, then you might want to call up Meek Mill and Birdman and borrow some of their L's, because they have more than enough to give you. Because if they have to lower the standards to meet your needs, what you were saying is that, hey, I am not equal to a man, which pretty much contradicts gender equality. And what you're also saying is that I am weaker than a man, therefore you have to give me special treatment in order to allow me to be able to complete this job or to be able to complete this task. The last thing that I want to bring up concerning this whole gender equality subject is the aspect concerning relationship and dating, because throughout history, especially in westernized culture, it has been known that the man is the one who is required to approach the woman, to talk to the woman, to initiate the interaction in order for them to begin dating, right? The man has to get on one knee and propose to the woman, otherwise the marriage would not occur. The man has to pay for the bill. The man has to lay his coat over the puddle and allow her to walk on it. The man has to open the door for her. The man has to take his hat off. You get the point. Since we're talking about gender equality, right, then why can't the woman decide to come up and approach the man and to initiate the interaction between the two? Why can't the woman get down on one knee and present a ring to the man and say, will you marry me? Why can't the woman say, hey, why don't we just split the bill or go Dutch? Or, hey, I will pay for the whole entire meal. why cannot we do this? And coincidentally, the same woman that is screaming gender equality, a lot of them are not going to agree with the points that I've just previously brought up. But if we are living in a gender equality society, then these things are very logical. But that wraps it up for this video. If you truly enjoyed my perceptions, my perspectives, and points concerning this subject of gender equality, feel free to please like and share this video. And if you feel as though you could bring a new, innovative, and logical way of thinking about gender equality, please by all means put it in the comment section below so that we can all grow with knowledge. And if you want to go the extra mile, please by all means subscribe to my channel so I know whether or not to keep bringing y'all content like this or to diversify my content a little bit to y'all's needs. I personally believe that male and female are equal, not in the sense of they are able to do the exact same things, but in the sense of what one gender is not able to do or what one gender is not capable of doing, the other gender is able to do that thing, therefore making up for what that person is not capable of doing. So it balances out. Oh, and before I forget, follow me on Twitter and add me on Facebook. The links will be in the description, because I will be announcing when next week exactly I will be getting on Omegle to do a virtual meet and greet with everybody who is dedicating their energy, time, and effort into watching the videos that I produce on this YouTube platform. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all, or as many of y'all as possible. So as I've said before, it's J Showtime, your favorite rapper and favorite person, and if you ain't authentic, we ain't conversing. Till next time.